Hey there, I'm Larry and I'm part of the sales management team here at Gregg Distributors. Now, you might know the basics of grinding or cutoff wheels, but do you know what makes one wheel better for the job than another? Well, today on Gear Up with Gregg's, we're going to discuss the abrasive truth of Carborundum's cutting and grinding wheels. Carborundum began in 1890, all thanks to a failed experiment. An inventor by the name of Edward Goodrich Acheson was attempting to heat carbon to the point where it would turn into a diamond. Surprisingly, it didn't work. However, his failure to create diamonds led to him mixing clay with carbon and electrically fusing it. The result? Silicon carbide, also known as Carborundum. Acheson founded his company Carborundum, and the future of abrasive innovation began. From inventing the first synthetic abrasive to putting the first patent on a fiber disc, Carborundum has consistently been ahead of the curve when it comes to abrasion products. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, if you're looking for the very basics of grinding, check out our Grinding 101 video linked in the description. There you'll find information about grades, bonds, dressing, and grinding safety. But if you want to know exactly what type of abrasive is ideal for each task, then you've come to the right place. But first things first, let's not forget about safety. Anytime you're about to start grinding, always be sure to wear safety glasses with side shields, goggles, or a face shield. After all, these wheels remove a lot of material fast, and the last thing you want is a piece of that in your eye. Now, with so many different abrasive types, finding the right wheel for the task at hand might seem daunting. But don't worry, we're here to help make that decision a little easier. Let's start by discussing the different types of abrasive grains that these wheels are made of. The toughest grain available is ceramic alumina. These abrasives last longer and cut faster than the competition. This synthetic grain is the newest on the market, and while it's often more expensive than other types of abrasives, the aggressive, consistent cut is well worth the price. Ceramic wheels, like the Carborundum Premier Red reinforced cutoff wheels, are ideal for cutting through stainless steel and steel alloys. Zirconia Alumina is tough, standing up to high-pressure machining and grinding applications, even in heated situations. This grain, also commonly known as zirc or zirconium, is ideal for grinding or cutting steel, alloy steel, malleable, and ductile iron. And because this grain has more grit than most, it self-sharpens as it cuts. Carborundum carries a variety of zirconia alumina wheels, but the Premier Red depressed center wheels are a great option. The most common and least expensive grain is aluminum oxide. This naturally occurring mineral is available in three types: pink, white, and brown. Each type is better at different tasks. For instance, white is the toughest and works well for aggressive sanding on wood and lacquers. Pink is a good general purpose abrasive and works well for softer materials such as wood. Brown is the most common type of aluminum oxide due to its versatile nature. In coarser grits, this grain works well for wood and metal stock removal. In finer grits, it's perfect for finishing and polishing metal. Another grain option is silicon carbide, which is good for grinding glass, plastic, rubber, paint, wood, titanium alloys, and cast iron. This grain is less common than the others we've mentioned, but it is still used for specialized, high-speed cutoff wheels, such as the Carbo Gold. Now, with so many wheels to choose from, coming to a decision may still seem like an impossible task. But our catalog has convenient material icons located next to each wheel, letting you narrow down your choices as you browse. First, determine whether you need a cutoff wheel or a grinding wheel. You might be asking, if they're both abrasives, can't you just use them interchangeably? Not quite. By design, cutoff wheels are thinner than grinding wheels and aren't designed for pressure to be applied on the face of the wheel. This could lead to a weakened and damaged cutoff wheel, which may result in wheel breakage and injury. So, if you need to cut through a piece of material, look for an appropriate cutoff wheel, like the Carbo Gold Cut Aluminum Oxide, or a high-speed saw reinforced Carbo Gold wheel. But if you want to remove a lot of surface material, such as rust or some poorly done weld joints, turn to a grinding wheel like the Premier Red Zirconia Alumina. Next, choose your wheel based on the type of material you are cutting or grinding. This determines what type of abrasive you should be looking for. For instance, aluminum oxide or zirconia alumina should be used for steels and steel alloys, while silicon carbide is better suited to iron, non-ferrous metals, and non-metallic materials. You also need to consider whether you are cutting hard or soft materials. Hard, brittle materials typically require a wheel with a fine grit and a softer grade, while soft materials need a wheel with a coarse grit and a hard grade. Wheel speed, or RPM, is another consideration to keep in mind. You want to make sure you purchase a wheel that matches the speed of the machine you will be operating. Since running a grinding wheel past the recommended RPM can cause the bonds in the wheel to break down. This creates unsafe operating conditions, which you want to avoid. Again, if you want to know more about any of these steps in detail, check out our Grinding 101 video, where we go over the basics like these with way more information. Now, if you have any questions about choosing the right wheel for the task, please don't hesitate to call us or leave us a comment down below. You can also check out our website at greggdistributors.ca. Again, I'm Larry. Thanks for keeping it Canadian and checking out Gear Up with Greggs. Can I grind now?